Hey YouTube world, welcome back. My name is Ramenis. You can call me Remy, and today we're going to talk about one of the 5 areas for personal development and personal growth. Now, I get it. There's probably a lot more than five out there, and I welcome any topics, any ideas, or any suggestions. You could put it in the comments, and we can have a good conversation. I narrowed it down to five, and today we're going to talk about one of them, which to me is the most important one, which is our mind, right? Our mental state is very critical for us to be able to grow and develop ourselves as individuals. I can argue and I'll probably say that most of us worry a lot more about what happens from the neck down than what happens here. And everything starts here, right? Now, I have 3 steps that helps me sort of keep myself honest, keep me on my toes when I think about, am I doing enough to develop myself mentally, right? Am I doing enough to exercise my brain and become stronger mentally so I can continue to push myself and continue to jump over hurdles and things of that nature. That way I can grow and learn more in life. Now that first step is to be present and to be mindful, right? That's one way that you can develop yourself mentally by being present and being mindful. You have to start somewhere, and this exercise allows you to understand to take inventory in regards to where your state of mind is. Now, how are you present and mindful? You can do a couple of things. You can ask yourself simple questions such as, what am I thinking about? Right? Throughout the day, you can ask yourself, where do my thoughts normally go? Middle of the day, and the nighttime, when you're done with school, when you're done with work, what do you normally think about? How do you think about those things? Perfect example is in the morning. When you wake up, are your thoughts more optimistic or they're more pessimistic? Right? Do you look at the day ahead as negative in the sense that, man, I don't want to deal with work, I don't want to deal with these things, I don't want to deal with these errands. It's just gonna be a long day. If you're looking at it as a glass half full, then most likely your day is gonna follow suit with that same energy. Or do you look at it from an optimistic standpoint? Those errands, work, or whatever it is that's ahead of you, are you looking at it as an opportunity to learn, to grow as an individual? Right? So it starts with just asking yourself the question or be mindful about where your thoughts normally go. What do you normally think about? Now, I did share in one of the prior videos a question that you can ask yourself as an exercise, which is your attention center or is your attention capture? I'll say it again. Is your attention center or is your attention capture? Now the difference between the two, right? When your attention is center, it means that you're focused, you're disciplined in regards to the agenda that's ahead of you. You have it, planned out. You know the steps you got to take. You know the things you have to do, and you're disciplined enough to keep yourself in that avenue, right? So your attention is center. You're focused. Nothing is distracting you from that. When your attention is captured, that means that you're getting distracted. If you have a plan to do A, B, or C, and you haven't even started touching A because your attention is distracted or is being captured by other things such as television, social media, conversations with folks. I'm not saying that those things are bad or horrible, right? But if they're capturing your mind from what you intended to do and your mind is not center, then you have to know that. And you have to ask yourself the question. And that's why I think that's a good question to ask yourself in the sense of, throughout the day, is my attention center or is it capture? And the answer to that is going to help you, get back into the lane, get back in alignment to what you want to do. Now, part two is to feed your brain. Yes, feed your brain, right? There's a couple of things that you can do that, and again, there's probably a lot more steps out there, and I welcome your thoughts and your comments. But one of the ways that you can feed your brain is to simply ask more questions, right? Just ask questions, right? Let's be curious. Let's bring back that inner child that we have, or when you look at a kid and they're asking questions up, down, left, and right. Sometimes it could be a little bit annoying. We can argue that, yes, but they're curious, right? They're learning. They want to know how the world works. At some point, we were those same kids that were asking questions all the time because we wanted to learn things. We wanted to, it was fun for us. And that's one of the practices that we should bring back more often is just to ask questions. So just, be curious about how things works, whether it's at work, personal, school, whatever it may be. But just push yourself to learn something new, right? Use your resources, your phone, your computers, to just ask questions and kind of feed your brain, and it's better if you do it in areas that you're interested in, right? So if you're working in healthcare, then you may want to ask questions more about healthcare if that's where you want to continue to develop yourself and so on. Another way to feed your brain is to read, right? Read, read, read. Now, my opinion, every book that's out there is a blueprint, right? It's a blueprint of someone who's sharing with you the road that they took, the challenges they had to face, how they overcame those challenges, the hurdles they had to jump over, what made them successful, the way that their way of thinking, everything that they did in order to get to the place that they're at, right? And if you're writing the book, for the most part, that means you're successful to a certain degree. So books to me are a blueprint, right? Somebody's giving you a way of doing things. Now, it doesn't mean that every book is going to give you a wealth of information that's going to be useful and you're going to apply it, right? It's not going to give you cookies in every chapter. It may give you one cookie, two, it may give you some flowers here or there. The important thing is for you to read these books and maybe pick one or two, right? Pick maybe one idea or suggestion that you can apply to your life that's going to help you mentally be stronger and overcome challenges, and or maybe go into a path that you were interested on, and that book kind of show you how to get there. But read, read, read articles, books, anything that's going to help your mind get stronger and develop yourself more and more. Also, try something creative, right? Play a game. If you're using your phone, get one of those puzzle games. Try something that's creative, something that's going to exercise your brain, that's going to help you think faster. Math problems, whatever it may be, or just something. Draw something that's going to inspire your creative side of things, just to kind of add some fun to it. So that's one way that you can feed your brain as well. The third part is to step out of your comfort zone. Yes, one of my favorites, and probably more challenging ones, which is to step out of your comfort zone. Go outside of that line, right? One way that you could do that is to raise your standards. Right? You have to be able to raise your standards in order for you to be able to step out of your comfort zone. If your goal is to lose weight, as an example, and that's the first thing that came to mind, right? You have to be able to raise your standards in order to get there. If your plan was to go, if you're going one time a week to the gym, maybe you want to raise your standards to say, let me go 5 times to the gym in a week. The beauty about raising your standards is that you don't have to accomplish the goal 100% in order for you to be successful. That's the beauty about it. If you raise your standards to say, I'm going to, wake up at 5 in the morning every day and go work out. Let's say you're doing that at 0, right, or 1 time a week, and you're saying, I want to switch it to 5 a week. Well, let's say you don't get to that 5, but you get to 3. You're still doing more than 1, right? Or 0, which is what you were doing. So by raising your standards to tell yourself, because I want to accomplish A, I got to do B. And I'm going to do B X amount of times. And even if you don't get to do it the amount of times that you stated, the fact that you did it sometimes, the fact that you were able to take some steps forward, that is success in itself. So don't look at raising your standards and setting goals and timelines as something that you have to meet all the time. Would it be great to meet it all the time? Yes. But if you are meeting all the time, then that may mean that you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Right, so set goals, set milestones, raise your standards in order for you to start to step out of your comfort zone. And also do, again, brain exercises. One of those that is very useful is to replay your day at the end of it. Right, before you go to bed, take a couple of minutes and pause and say, how was my day? Did I get to do the things that I wanted to? If yes, great. What you did in order to get you there. If not, then hey, it's an opportunity for you to understand that. Don't feel bad about it. And excuse me, let me take a sip of coffee. Don't feel bad about the fact that you didn't get to do everything you wanted for that day. Sometimes it happens, and unfortunately, it happens more often than what we want to. The idea is to ask yourself what happened, right? Was your mind captured throughout the day? Were you thinking about other things or letting a lot of distractions come into play? Did you set goals? Did you set milestones? If you did not, then probably that's a reason why your day was not as successful. But the idea is not to punish yourself at the end of the day. It's just to simply ask yourself, how was it and what worked, what didn't work, in order for you to then tomorrow, right, make sure that your thoughts are in a positive way, in a productive way, so then you can be better tomorrow than what you were today. Right? So those are the 3 steps that I have in order to develop your mind, right, to become stronger mentally. If you have other ideas, other topics, feel free to put them down in the comments. I also want to remind you that by the time you're looking at this video, it's probably towards the end of the first quarter of 2022. Believe it or not, right? We're at that moment, and time goes by pretty quickly. So that's why I always tell people, don't rush to the weekend. The weekend will get here. Take advantage of Monday, take advantage of Tuesday, take advantage of Wednesday, and so on. So we're coming to the end of the first quarter. I know I have goals that I told myself at the beginning of the year that I haven't really touched. And if you're in the same boat, the beauty about, or one way that we can think about it, which is beautiful, is to tell ourselves that tomorrow is the start of the new year. We don't have to wait until January 1st, 2023 in order to say, let me make another list. We can simply make a list today and say tomorrow is the start of a new year, and embark on those goals, those dreams that we had. But just wanted to bring that up to your attention, the fact that time goes by quickly. Don't take it for granted. Don't rush to the weekends. That's my message for today. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. We'll look to bring you more topics, more ideas, and I do welcome your opinions and suggestions. I also didn't forget, right? I normally do a cigar of the day, and this one here is called Quick Draw. Right? Those that know me knows that I like to smoke cigars. This one's called Quick Draw. My brother gave it to me. He gave me 3 actually. I have smoked 2 of them already. They're very good to smoke. Good flavor. Doesn't take too long to smoke. Normally cigars are like an hour and a half. This one is faster. Maybe that's why they call it Quick Draw. Who knows? But he did tell me that it's from the line of AJ Fernandez, who's one of my favorite cigar makers. So if you're looking for a good, not too long of a cigar, and has flavors from the beginning, Quick Draw is a very good one. So I appreciate brother for hooking me up with that. Again, that's all I had. Thank you so much for your patience, for listening to this message. I hope you found it useful. Love you all, and I'll talk to you soon.